You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show. Hello and welcome to Movie Baiters with the Farx Brothers. I'm Kirk.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Nick, I think.
And we're... What?
You think you're Nick?
I had one of these already. I don't know.
No, this is the first segment people are hearing, remember?
It's
Well,
alright. We'll break the wall
more.
every time. Yeah, the fourth wall. We're joined by Nick Swedlund, writer, director, and producer, but he wants to make it known that he is wanting to be a director more than being a writer and producer.
He writes by necessity.
Yes.
As people will find. This is a tease for your interview.
Oh, okay, cool.
See what we did there?
Yeah.
Because people will hear that conversation.
Sure.
We're going to debate...
Sanctified.
where is it your right to tell a West?
Oh, God.
You ever ridden a horse?
You remember everything I say to you, don't you?
I don't... Wait, really?
Yeah. Like, we've had conversations. You're like referencing multiple conversations the past couple of years is what you're referencing this whole time.
People do... I've had this conversation. I'll use Lori Rivers as an example. I was at a Catalyst, and this is going to make me sound like a crazy person. I don't care. 2022, and I'm referencing a conversation she and I had at Catalyst the year before in 2021. She's like, "What's wrong with you that you remember that?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's just how my memory works."
Well,
And
it's amazing.
I actually tried to win a debate with my father that I'm not going to explain again about whether or not I need to take medication for ADHD, because I took the IQ-based ADHD test in 2009. In 2011 or 13, they changed it from ADD to ADHD. Sure. ADD doesn't exist anymore. I'm sure you are aware of all these things. And it turns out I don't have ADHD. I have type A personality.
Perfect.
Yes, so I have very strong memory, but I'm not as flexible of a thinker as I should be.
Interesting.
So I'm wanting to debate people in my exterior garage to become more flexible with my thinking.
Yeah, how does it make you feel?
Why is it your right to tell an American Western? North Dakota isn't even the West.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would argue it's
Don't
the
tell
West.
them.
Wait, really?
Yes,
Explain that. Say more about that, please.
What, North Dakota? They definitely part of the West, especially the western North Dakota, which is where we shot this.
They're eastern West.
It's west of Minnesota.
It
about-
is.
sure.
The West is east of. Sorry, that's stupid. The West is west of Mississippi. That's the West.
The Middle East sees us all as the West.
Okay. Is this
What?
the level of debate? This is the.
Yes, this is normal.
Okay.
This is normal.
Just one bar above. Well, you're dumb.
Well, your mom.
So when you decided to rip off Two Mules for Sister Sarah, which at least you referenced, and I appreciate, that was a good idea, Bill. What
didn't
was
hear
your
anything.
thought? Have you seen Two Mules for Sister Sarah?
I have seen it.
And that's why they make. Well, it's not a spoiler. There's a reference to that. Is that where that reference comes from?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because it's a reference to it, so that to pay homage or whatever, but also
Homage.
Yeah, homage, but also to kind of, cue in the film literate person that, yes, I've seen the movie. Yes, I know that there are similarities, so shut up and keep watching the film.
Well, she's, I guess I won't say what I'm thinking. The twist to Two Mules for Sister Sarah is that she's not actually a nun.
Not actually a nun. She's a lady of the night.
She is the oldest profession, as they say.
Exactly.
Which is very clear. After I watched Sanctified again today, because I've seen it before,
Brag about it.
I'm going to. I put on Two Mules for Sister Sarah, which I own on physical media, and my elder Farxling asked, "Is she naked?" At the beginning with Shirley MacLaine when she gets, caught with the men. Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
And she asked about your movie. Why is that guy all red? And I explained that he had been stabbed and he had been shot. She didn't see those parts, and I had seen the movie before, so I wasn't too worried about what was coming up.
Right.
But yeah.
We try to keep the content not too bloody.
Why did you make a Western?
Well, I love Westerns, but it kind of just, like a lot of projects, it seems that I've done.
It came your way?
It just came my way, yeah, exactly. So Dan and Matt Roy, my business partner, they worked on it with a bunch of other people. Dan's one of Dan's first projects, which was the Badlands Girls, a short film, which is kind of like, it was like the testing ground for a lot of Dan's ideas and can we make movies in North Dakota? And he's from Bismarck and he's awesome. try and get him on it, catch him when he's in town. If he is,
I'd love to.
Amazing. I can introduce you.
Please.
And then a year later, Dan was talking to Matt about possibly producing Wes and Hildy, his script that then became Sanctified, and Matt and I kind of collaborated a bit, and we're like, well, you should direct this. And like, well, I'm not sure who Dan thinks who should direct this. Anyway, so I read his script and I wrote like a pitch of like, this is great, but this is what I would change. This is what I would fix. Here, this. I'd retitle it Sanctified because that becomes a thematic thing, and and take out these parts, add this in, and I had a whole thing. And Dan loved it and said, okay, yeah, write it, and you can. And then he watched a different film of mine and said, yeah, you can write and direct, and let's.
Was it Bell Brothers or the one about the high school student who gets hurt and then
college student? It was
college.
that one, yeah. All the time.
He's college and he gets injured. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it. I apologize.
Yeah, well, I can send you a link. It's
please
not great. I love it. I like it. I made it for nothing. Literally, I made it for it cost me like $20 to make that.
Because you made it with college students that you had available to you at Bethel?
At Crown College.
Crown of like Jesus Crown or what's?
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, what else would there be?
Royal?
Yeah,
God is
I was
great.
thinking the British.
Yeah, no, they definitely a conservative Christian college. So out in St. Bonnie, Minnesota.
St. Bonifacius?
Yep, about half an hour from here.
Okay.
That's where they are. So yeah, no, had a college campus and the gear and the editing gear and the lights and the well, we didn't really use lights. It was all natural. Anyway, Dan saw that film and said yes to having me rewrite the script and direct the film.
This is a bait show, so now I've got to bait you because you just said this guy that you think is great that you worked with liked a movie you made that you don't think is that great. So now I'd like to ask you why you don't think that movie is great and why is Dan wrong?
I said, to correct you.
Thank you.
Because I'm enjoying this.
It's a bait show.
I can let go a little bit. To correct you, I said I don't like, and then I added, well, that's not really true. I do like it because, and then you interrupted me. So maybe you weren't listening to the second half of my sentence.
I'm working on my flexible thinking as I've already. So what caused you to say that, and how were you going to amend it?
All the Time in the World is, as a film, a navel-gazing, like introspective to a fault, like a little pretentious, film.
I've heard you compare it to being inspired by Terrence Malick.
It absolutely was, because I had just seen Tree of Life, which to this day is my top film, number one, and I was just that movie blew me away and broke what I had learned in undergrad at AFI, and what I was struggling, or not learning, but continuing to learn. Like it broke what I understood a film could be.
How? What did you learn, and then how did it break it?
Because the fractured nature of it, but still the story was there. Like it wasn't abstract like David Lynchian stuff where it's abstract and you don't really know what it means. Like it went into the abstract, but then you understood the meaning of it. So it was like it hit you harder. Like there's a sequence where Jessica Chastain says she's out in the woods and in tears because her son died, and you hear her very Malick whispery voiceover, which he does all the time, and she says to God, "Where were you?" Like, when her son died, right? And then it cuts to a 18-minute sequence of God creating the universe, set to a Polish a requiem called Lacrimosa, and it's operatic, and that blew my mind. That was how that scene went, and to just stick with and because it opens with the quote from Job, which is when Job in the Old Testament, he asks God the same thing. He says, where were you? And God says, where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? And God's like, so that's having Malick do that, but visually, like God doesn't answer Jessica Chastain verbally. He just is like, here's all these images of, anyway, the way he did it was just mind-blowing. So I was like, okay, how can I do this? It was both Malick and David Gordon Green, though, for All the Time in the World. David Gordon Green he did...
Halloween.
Yeah, but before. Early David Gordon Green he did George Washington in 2000. That was his first feature. And his other, I'm blanking on the next couple of features were...
Didn't he do the one...
Is the one called
All the Real Girls?
Yeah.
Yep. So his stuff is it's improvisational, it's organic in that way. And he had a line in some interview, whatever he said, like for George Washington, that first feature, which is very fractured and kind of there's no real plot. It's like a character you're just kind of drifting through space.
Is this a mumblecore thing? I haven't seen it. I apologize.
Not like the Duplass brothers, but yeah, a little bit. But he had this phrase. He said like every scene is disposable, right?
Have you seen the movie The Sisters Brothers? Has anyone?
I have not.
No.
I know of it. I have not.
Yeah,
What's it about?
It's about John C. Reilly and somebody else, Joaquin Phoenix, as the brothers. Their last name is Sisters.
Oh.
And it's kind of a rambling Western. See how I bring it back around? What does sanctification mean to you?
Sanctified.
No, but that's in the past tense, so I'm referring to the act of sanctification, since he's talked about God creating the universe, and it was all related. The movie's called Sanctified.
It means to be made holy. Whether or not you can be made holy while you're alive is a whole different question, right?
Immediately my mind goes to, well, when people get shot, they're made holy.
Hey,
That's a Western.
yeah. So, and then that gets into like the whole Catholic and the saints and stuff. Like that's where I'm not Catholic, and
Sure.
I think sanctification is a high level theological concept, but it's part of Western culture too. So that's why that's what I love about our religious heritage generally in the Christian West. We'll say the Judeo-Christian West.
Yeah, the west of the Middle East.
Yeah, exactly. Just that's where we come from. That's our heritage, I guess, and so I like that for storytelling.
That gets me into thinking about like have you read American Gods?
I have not read it. I've seen some of the show.
Sure.
I am aware of it. I love The Sandman, which is amazing.
Yeah, I guess the reason I think of American Gods in this context of like deification is that in the book American Gods they talk about like the god of celebrity, for example, and that's our form of deification. Like what we've done to the Kardashians is a form of what they do to former popes who are all probably pederasts. I don't know. Don't come at me.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate the Martin Luther. I'm not Lutheran, but I appreciate the Martin Luther concept of like we can have a direct connection to God. This whole thing is becoming very like religious and spiritual.
Well, your movie's called Sanctified.
That's true.
And wait, okay, so where in his script is there this notion of becoming holy?
Whose script?
Dan's script.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one, where it's about a nun and a criminal out in the North Dakota, and there's a musical scene set in a general store, and like where is that?
Sorry, Dan, to like, reveal this stuff.
You revealed that part somewhere else, I believe,
did.
in a different
Yes,
interview.
I did.
So
I don't think there was much of a, with respect to Dan, and I think at the time he would agree that there was not a very strong script. He since has written more, and it's awesome. He's great now, but it didn't have much of a theme. His first script. It was an outlaw and a nun trying to escape both like the former gang and the sheriff. So there were like these two forces chasing him down. So I said, well, it should just be one force chasing him down just to like pull it because we don't have the budget for two whole groups of people.
Well, hey, wait. The Nazis and the cops are chasing the Blues Brothers.
Right. Well, that's true. See, budget,
Give
is a concern. Why didn't you just do that?
Why did you just do Blues Brothers with cowboy guys?
That was a good movie.
Sorry.
That's very Chris Farley of you. Like, did you see Die Hard? That was a good movie.
Wait, did Chris Farley do that in a movie? Now I'm trying to remember.
No, it was an SNL bit.
Like he was always like the interviewer, and he's like, it's like he's interviewing Paul McCartney. Like, so like you remember that time when you were in that band in the '60s?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that was the whole.
That's
thing.
not my era of SNL. I apologize.
That was awesome. And then Paul McCartney's, the Beatles. Yeah, like that was so cool.
But then he goes like, did you see Die Hard?
How about calling it a Midwestern?
What would that look like?
Yeah.
I've thought a lot about that. What would be a Minnesota Western?
A Midwestern?
Like a Northwestern.
A Midwestern versus a Northwestern? Is that what you're asking?
Well, yeah, like a Midwestern to me would be like if it takes place in like Missouri.
No, because see, you're the second person to come on here and say Missouri is not the, that's the South to me. I think
the
Midwest,
north half of Missouri is the Midwest, and the South, I think that's a cutoff state, like where it gets split in half.
Sure. Ohio is the Midwest. Michigan is the Midwest.
But Ohio is also the East, is the Midwest East cutoff. Like the eastern half of Ohio is East Coast. The western half of Ohio is the Midwest. Iowa's much,
The Midwest.
right. So maybe an Iowa Western.
The Coen brothers have made Midwesterns, more or less.
What?
Fargo could be thought of as a
Yeah,
Western
I'd
to
say
some degree.
Fargo.
It's a modern Western. And that's
neo-Western.
kind of a stretch, but okay, I'll take it.
So you're saying, what would a Western set in Minnesota look like? Or in somewhere in the Midwest?
Like a period piece with guns and like an outlaw, like that type of, like if that's what a Western is, a classic Western, but it takes place in like the conifer pines of northern Minnesota, like what is that it doesn't have the vistas of the mountains or whatever, right? It's enclosed and dark and cold.
Okay, yeah, because there's a different, as I've heard you say, subgenre of Western that has mountains in the background, which is a more West Western. Don't you see?
I said a subgenre of mountains.
A subgenre of Westerns are Westerns that show mountains.
When
because
did I say
you said it on a podcast that I listened to today.
To me, it seems like that would be the baseline for Westerns is mountains. Right?
No, because you could be in the desert.
If
and
I-
Desert,
some
but like, I
town.
mean, there's a fucking mountain out there somewhere. Like, you know, it's, I don't know. It seems
Four
like that's
Brothers is a
more of
Western.
baseline.
I said that was a subgenre.
of Western is like when you're in Montana and you can see the mountains and you've got mountainous
I guess-
Westerns versus like flat Westerns.
I would amend that and probably say it's like the first subgenre of the subgenres of Westerns, right?
What are the other subgenres?
Well,
like
because you can have like a
neo-Western?
border Western, like, you know, down in the Texaco kind of vibe, right? That's
that
different
made me
than
go
like,
to Sicario. Give me an example.
absolutely, that would be, you know, but
Western?
Like, well, Two Mules for Sister Sarah takes place near the border,
That's right.
right? So that it you know, the Treasure of the Sierra Madre is a kind of a border Western, right? So there's like the North Westerns. There's that's like the mountain Westerns are the most classic, right? The most like traditional. Right?
Sure. Have you seen Four Brothers?
No, I know
That's
that one too.
John Singleton, Detroit. It's a Detroit Western.
Isn't Garrett Hedlund in that?
Garrett Hedlund is in that.
Yeah.
And Garrett Hedlund, you're interested in for your film Junk.
Yes, I am.
And the thing about your movie Junk that you have had written for a while is that I think you're making all these other movies to make junk.
Yeah.
And I know that.
Pretty
about
much.
You. Damn it, you're supposed to bait me on this.
No, you're absolutely correct. So they're in a lot of ways these are you could say means to an end, but like they're proofs that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That I can make a good movie. Sanctified was $125,000,
Making a Western on a budget must be a thing.
right? So that the credit, I will give the credit a lot. Mostly, I had my part, but mostly to Dan and the producing crew, who just really nailed. They pinched every penny in the best possible way, and the crew loved it. But also, like, my part in that was choosing locations that weren't difficult to get to.
Because they were all 20 minutes from the
Absolutely.
Christian
Yeah.
camp you were at.
Right, like the top of the ending here that we're watching, which you can't see in the thing, but the ending, the climax of the film takes place on like the cliff side above like where he gets captured in like the valley. Like if you go up the hill, like in the valley in the beginning when he gets captured, if you go up to the top, that's where the ending takes place.
So even though like we seem to have gone a long distance in the movie,
Yeah.
these two locations are very close to
exactly.
each other.
So just making the choice as the director, like, no, we can do scene 12 looking east, and then on the same day do scene 45 looking north.
Because the background looks
Because
different.
the background's completely different. Instead of me saying like, I really need that tree that's like a mile off road, and let's hoof all the gear down there because I need that tree.
Have you
like-
ever seen someone act like this in a professional setting, making
I-
movies? Because when you worked in, I guess reality shows wouldn't be able to have done that, and
I mean, you got Tyra Banks on Top Model, and
she's lovely.
Lovely human being, loves her crew, treats them wonderful.
But
Wink.
she says, "I want that tree over there, and I need that tree there now."
Well, she deserves that tree.
I agree. Tyra
Yeah,
Banks
she's
deserves
a
that tree.
supermodel. She's an icon. She's a diva, some would say, in the best possible way, like the Bette Midler way. Like she's like that level of like.
Haven't heard
Demigod.
that comparison.
I think
Anyway.
I'm a little more into Tyra Banks than
Anyway.
Bette Midler. I'll bait you on that
But
one.
okay, whatever. Let's move on.
Clint Eastwood versus Kevin Costner. Pick one.
Eastwood.
Yeah, Eastwood for sure.
Eastwood every
Costner.
time. Unforgiven's the best. My favorite Western.
Ah, damn it! That's my favorite Western. Now I gotta pick different things and go like,
how
oh
do you,
no.
How do you feel about Sam Peckinpah?
Sam Peckinpah?
Do you know Westerns?
I'm sorry. You've caught me. Is that like a 60s or 50s Western?
Yeah, in that era, 60s. Sam Peckinpah, he made a bunch of different films, but they're very much they were known for being, for the time, not Tarantino. They were known for being very violent and bloody.
Is this pre Sergio Leone?
It's around the same time.
I thought Sergio was leading. The Italians were leading the gore. Because that's the late 60s.
I think they were
leading
leading like the how long can we make a movie? Peckinpah is known for just the kind of it's like his action and the gunfights were very kinetic and violent for the time, right? Whereas Sergio Leone was more like, it's the crickets and the wow wow and like the really like elongated and drawn out confrontations.
Yeah.
Peckinpah's were just like boom boom. I think he did the Wild Bunch, didn't he?
You caught me off guard. I think he did the Wild
Bunch.
This is a part of cinematic language I haven't.
But yeah, he's incredible. He like established the genre. Yeah, in the early days, he's amazing.
Yellowstone. See, that's why Kevin Costner.
Yellowstone? No, Can't Dances with Wolves, man.
Yeah, it's a great.
The Open Range is actually pretty good.
I loved Open Range.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall.
Yeah,
I saw that with my dad.
Robert Duvall.
What?
It's the Family Guy bit when they're about to drown in the locked like panic room as the fills up with water, and Peter goes, "I have a confession." I can't do his voice. I have a confession. What's that? I did not care for The Godfather. They're like, what the heck? What? It insists upon itself. And then Chris Griffin goes, what? Robert Duvall. Like, that's all he said.
Robert Duvall is one of the weaker points of The Godfather, I would point out. I have seen that, but that Family Guy.
But no,
before.
every time I hear his name, that bit comes in my mind, and I can't escape it. It just takes over everything. So, but yes, Duvall's amazing.
McCabe and Mrs. Miller. I haven't seen it all the way through in a long time. If I've seen it all the way through once at all, that's
Robert Altman.
Yeah, that's where they're talking over each other and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not an argument for Kevin Costner, I guess, but
who shot that?
The DP.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wait, which movie? Which Robert
McCabe
Altman?
and Mrs. Miller.
Oh, that I don't know.
You haven't seen that one?
No.
It's late 70s.
Is that
early 70s? It's like 71.
His name is on the tip of my tongue. You know why that movie is famous? And among other things, like one of the main reasons visually, the way that the DP like oversaturated and undersaturated different things, and the way it looks, where it's like clouded and faded.
Yes.
That look had never been done in a Western up until that point.
Oh.
I have heard that before from
almost
my.
like a milkiness is like kind of just wafting through the whole thing.
But that's not true of like MASH or Prairie Home Companion from him.
No, he did other things.
He just wanted.
That is more the DP's influence on McCabe and Miss Miller than Altman. I would guess.
Vilmos Zsigmond.
There he is. Yes, Vilmos Zsigmond. He did Apocalypse Now. I realize I'm sorry. I'm like referencing a different thing we just did, but I fucked up. I said Vilmos Zsigmond shot Apocalypse Now and said the thing about I'm a cinematographer.
Yeah.
That wasn't him at all. That's Vittorio Storaro said that.
Oh, Vittorio Storaro, of course.
Sorry.
Go back and listen to the non-spoiler segment if you haven't
I
already.
just want to make sure that that's on the record that I know I screwed that up.
Kirk, you'll use AI to just you'll take 5 minutes of Nick's voice and like clone his voice without his consent.
You just fix that in post, right?
Yeah.
Just cut
do
that
it
part
manually, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, among many other movies. He's the one. He's famous for saying, "I am not." He's Italian. I am not a director of photography. I am a cinematographer.
Oh, we've asked one of those recently. Like, what's the difference to you and why? Can you delineate a difference between the two?
I mean, the difference is: are you an artist or are you a pawn of the production?
Oh.
That's not like my opinion. That's like why the term director of photography was created in Hollywood, was so that they could treat them more like a cog and less like an artist. Like you're just like you're like the production designer, the art director. Then just do what the producers want.
When in film history did that happen?
I don't know the exact time frame.
Did you learn this at AFI or?
Partly, yeah, I'm sure I did.
Okay.
Along the way, I don't know when I learned what I learned.
That's fair.
At this point.
You're actually only a little older than me, I realized today, which made
I look older than I am.
I didn't say that.
It's the white beard.
No, you don't. It's
a little more salt than pepper these days.
you could. Well, I would say the tattoos make you seem younger, and
that helps.
the boyish grin.
Sure.
It's a bait show.
Easy.
Best nun movies. Since you have a nun in your movie,
Oh.
This is the non-spoiler section, so I have to.
Well, do I say mine first?
Sure.
It's Sister Act. Is the top nun movie of all time.
Well, I'm going to say Sister Act 2 because I
that's
like the music better.
Very good as well.
No, I was going to say Doubt, to be honest with you.
Like, those movies could not be more different.
I'm aware. I'm also a big fan of both the Nun movies, which
The
no one
Nun?
in this room can stand.
haven't seen
I
Yes.
cannot.
I mean, I did
stay
hate them.
awake. I can't stay awake.
They're
from
as
them.
good as The Mummy.
Nah, I like the Mummy a lot better.
not seen
With
them.
Brendan Fraser.
The Mummy has Western influences, and that's something I like about.
Are we
The
talking
Mummy.
Brendan Fraser or Tom
Brendan
Cruise?
Fraser? No, not Tom Cruise.
Nobody
Obviously.
saw that
What
one.
was it? Well, yeah. I mean, like, why are you talking about Tom Cruise? But I mean, yeah. I saw The Mummy in the theater. It's fine.
When you're shooting in the movie, you had an armorer from 310 to Yuma. He was like a real Hollywood armorer, right?
Yeah, I mean, he works probably more, not to like downgrade the guy, but he works more in like indie westerns as opposed to like studio films.
That makes him. I think that gives him more street cred.
Absolutely, he's awesome.
Do you remember his name off the top of your
His
head?
name is Ray Heiser. I still talk to him.
Ray. What do you guys talk about? Guns?
Yeah, no. I helped fix a script of his. I rewrote a script that he was trying to get off the ground and might still, called Bad Blood.
Bad Blood.
Yep, it's like a a revenge western, which is all of them, which is why I love them. And we still talk. There's some other stuff that maybe is happening out there that I might have a piece in. I don't know. We'll see.
Why
It's
do
like
you-
irons in the fire, right?
Why do you feel strongly about revenge?
Did I say I do?
You said they're all about revenge, and that's why I like them.
A lot of westerns are revenge stories. Is my point,
Uh huh.
right?
And that's what you said. You
Yeah,
did say.
yeah.
That's what I like about them, and I'm just saying what?
Because it makes for a great story.
Oh, it's a clear narrative.
Yeah, absolutely.
direct-
Have you seen Sisu?
Yes, I've seen Sisu,
Sisu.
the Finnish guy who fights Nazis.
Oh,
Sort-
yeah, I've
yeah.
seen it. Mm.
It's sort of a western.
Because they kind of take his gold and
yes,
are trying to kill him too. So it's love that.
that's my father really likes it kind of movie.
Yeah, it's a grindhouse film as well.
Yeah, it's a grindhouse western set in Finland
Exactly.
during World War II. Did your father like Sanctified?
Of course, he loved it. They came in. My mom and dad came and visited for a couple days while we were filming.
Oh wow, are they still in what do you call it, the western part of the Twin Cities?
Yeah,
or
they're in the west suburbs.
west
yeah.
suburbs. Because you're from the west suburbs. We didn't cover this in the interview. So
I mean, I grew up in like St. Louis Park, and then I moved out to the Plymouth area.
The reason I asked about the armorer is that were they shooting blanks in this movie?
Yeah, different charges of blanks, like different power levels. There's like a half charge or a full charge, right? So it's like different levels of loudness and kickback.
When you use the loud, so like in a long shot, you use a louder one
To get the muzzle flash, yeah, to get a bigger burst of fire, right? But if you're just doing kind of whatever the reason is, maybe if it's kind of close to an actor, you do like a quarter, so it's not this massive, bang in their ear, because guns are loud. If you didn't know that, right? So yeah, we would do that, and it's safer because there's less of an explosive thing happening, because they do shoot out like the wad and the whatever. They are shooting,
There's stuff that is projectiled out of it,
Yeah,
so
correct.
it's not safe to be in front of, but it's
Correct,
safer than
yeah.
having a bullet
right.
inside
A
of
blank can seriously injure or kill you.
it. Have you watched Rust? Now that it's out?
No,
The
I have
Alec
not.
Baldwin movie?
I have not watched it.
I don't
no.
know if you can
I
rent
can't
it or anything.
believe
No, it's available. It's on
they
iTunes.
I can't believe they finished it. I truly.
Yeah.
Well, they
Wow.
had to finish it for legal reasons because she's the DP or cinematographer who was,
She went to AFI.
Did you know her?
No.
Oh.
She was there a couple years after I was.
Got it. Who from your cohort is somebody of note?
The best director. He was the best director, in my opinion, during school. And his name is Dean Israelite.
Oh,
Wow, interesting
last
last name, yeah.
He
Wait,
direct-
you know him?
He
Well, I
directed.
don't know him personally. I've seen the name.
What in what?
I forget.
He directed Power Rangers.
Sure.
The
Oh.
remake one?
Yes.
I saw
Yes,
that.
he did. Yeah. So in terms of like successful in the professional sense, yeah, Dean is kicking ass. My friend Dean and I knew each other, but we weren't really like close, so that's
You
fine.
weren't tight.
Yeah, it's all good.
You weren't passing around
No.
jazz cigarettes
No,
outside
I
of a
respect
club.
him. I respected him enough to ask for his advice while we were at school. We're kind of competing, and I respected him. I was like, can you help me with this? And he kind of helped. He was busy. It's fine.
He didn't Arnold Schwarzenegger you and give you wrong advice? 'cause
No,
wants
he
to be
was
better
great.
than
He
you?
was very helpful. I think I might have asked at the wrong time. So anyway, whatever. And I even forget the question even. But Nick Simon is a friend of mine who was a director in my class, and he directed The Girl in the Photograph.
The Girl in the Photograph.
It's a horror film. Wes Craven produced it. So they worked together. So he worked on the last film that Wes Craven produced, and he directed it. Nick wrote and directed it. So that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
You know?
Power Rangers isn't a Western. The reason I asked about the guns is Peter Gould once said in relation to Better Call Saul that what bothers him about any time he sees a gun go off in a movie or TV show, he knows that each one of those shots was 5 minutes of multiple meetings. And
Sure.
I tried to count how many shots were in Sanctified. I think it's under 50, above 35. Am I close?
Wow. I don't know.
Did you have to have a 5 minute, at least 5
No.
minutes of a meeting for each one?
No, because those guys knew what they were doing. So there was Ray Heiser from Wyoming, and then Tom Ringberg from Minneapolis here.
I know Tom.
Tom's
We worked
awesome.
with Tom.
Right,
We
yeah,
went. Nick, Farx, and I went and shot guns.
We shot guns. I shot my first gun because of Tom Ringberg.
So
Yeah.
Tom was the armorer on days when Ray had to be more of the horse wrangler, right? And then kind of vice versa. Tom's not big with horses, but I think that he helped out in that area too. So they were kind of like co-armorers in a lot of ways. But all the guns, the period guns, were from Ray.
Are those more dangerous? Like, and have to have different like.
I don't know. There was one day when he was like filing off like something to make it safer or something.
The serial numbers, so
You're
that
right. Yeah, exactly.
That the blacksmith put in.
No,
like,
but
the 100 years.
what was your question? It was
was there 5 minutes of meeting
no,
for each
no,
gunshot?
but like we did take safety seriously, and you know
Yeah.
guns are dangerous, and even empty guns should be treated like they're full. Which Stone Creek, that movie up north was oh my god, okay,
Disaster.
fucking guy is an asshole. But you have like clear firing lanes with actors, so like you tell them where to aim,
Yeah.
so that they're not just
Right.
aiming wherever they want. And if you have a face off, face to face confrontation with guns, depending on the camera angle, they don't actually have to aim at the other actor.
Yes.
Right. So they aim off to the side, right? And so doing that kind of stuff and making sure that when they're done with the gun, it goes back in the box immediately. Right, and that this is the key part, that there's one person in charge of the guns.
Yes.
At least every day. If it changes day to day, or those two people they switch off on their own as pros, that's fine. But there's a dedicated person who has no other job that day.
Because they clear the gun before handing it to the performer every time.
Yes.
And that's the role. That's the job of the armorer.
Yes.
And that, I mean,
But also there's a response. This is the whole Alec Baldwin thing. There is a responsibility of the actor to understand a little bit what they're getting into by agreeing to hold the gun and to aim it, and to, like, if I was an actor, I would probably say, like, is this whatever. I would probably aim at the ground and pull the trigger a couple times before we do the thing.
well, you wouldn't
Especially
do that
if
if there's a
having-
blank in it. 'Cause
That's
then you'd
true.
shoot
I
the
wouldn't.
blank.
Correct. I wouldn't. But
show.
then gotcha. Oh my god. But if we actually fire, whatever, it's useless.
What was the thing with blood for money or whatever that
Weak
you?
argument.
I agree with you. I think Alec Baldwin has responsibility, not according to how it was adjudicated, but as a producer.
Well-
because it's your job as producer to know what you just said. There's only one person whose job it is on that day to check
Yes.
the gun. Period. And if you're a producer, you're in charge, right?
Yeah.
You should know those types of things.
Right. So the reason I get emphatic about that is there's a project that shot last August or last summer up north called Stone Creek.
And you're okay with what
What
this
I'm
being
gonna say about it?
with this being recorded?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Because this is my opinion of the
This is
man.
your opinion.
This is
that
just my opinion of this guy,
everyone's got
Robert
one.
Enriquez. I think he's a charlatan and a scam artist.
Well, Robert, come on the show sometime.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Explain why.
Yeah, well, he would charm you with his silver tongue, and you'd probably love him for it.
I don't know if you know what I like from other people's tongues, but
This guy he is a chronic liar. And,
I don't like that.
And he oh man, he is a bad person,
okay.
and a danger to filmmakers. and
Why?
a danger to crew.
What was his role? Like what
He
was,
directed, quote unquote, directed
quote,
the films that he does, but the writer financed the whole movie, and so it was so obvious to me and others that the whole project was just to line his pockets.
Damn.
Like they rented the Airbnb that he owns, the bakery provided the food for the film.
He owns the bakery.
He owns the bakery.
Hey, that sounds like
he's
a smart
getting-
capitalist
he's
to me.
getting- Well, he's getting paid as the director, as the producer. He's double dipping there. That's not uncommon, but it's at this budget level, when you're doing that,
You're saying
is
under $1
shit.
million or over $1 million?
It was like $200,000.
Okay.
Right. That the money, because it impacts the crew. Because when you have a bakery providing lunch, the guns were the biggest problem on that set.
Yeah.
Right. Because there was the wardrobe designer walked off the set on day 2.
Jeez.
Because they were like, well, we need a shotgun for this scene, and so this is, I heard this secondhand, right, from her. She wrote a letter, but we need a shotgun for the scene, and the homeowner was like, well, I got one upstairs, and so he went and grabbed it, brought it down, and then they used it in the scene. The baker who co-owns the bakery with Robert Enriquez, the baker, he was also the armorer, and the guns were kept in a plastic bin all together. The lead actor, he was on the Lethal Weapon TV show.
Oh,
Clayne
Crawford.
Yeah, love
And
that
there's
guy.
a whole bunch of things online about him and whatever. I don't want to talk about his reputation. That's his own to deal with.
Well, he got fired from Lethal Weapon in
Right,
season 3.
for volatile, whatever it was. But he was a bit. He brought his own gun to set, that's a problem.
What?
And he wouldn't give it over to the AD, who got fired after day 5, because gun safety is a thing.
Yeah.
And there was one scene where an actor had to take a handgun, and written in the scene is that she puts it under her chin and pulls the trigger and kills herself.
Jesus
And,
Christ.
suicide scenes happen, right? That's fine.
Sure.
That's fine. But you can do that in a safe way and a non-safe way.
They used a real gun?
They used a real gun,
Damn.
first of all, and when they did the rehearsal, they saw that there was no clip in the handle of the handgun, and thought, oh shit, we need a clip, and so they go grab the thing, it's in the bin, right? And so they went and they grabbed it, put it in, and she did the scene, and she didn't die, but there was no
No one checked to see if there were any
who checked
bullets in the clip?
There was no.
Damn.
And then he
Scary.
lied. This is why I dislike this man with the fury of 1,000 suns, because he lied to the Screen Actors Guild. He lied to UMFO, and UMFO has issues, in my opinion. Sorry, Sherry. Sorry, Ricky. But the fact
Love to have you guys on the show.
the fact that you guys keep elevating this man is a problem, and it hurts the film community in Minnesota.
Well, yeah, because if someone gets killed and we have a Rust situation in Minnesota, I'm sure it hurt. Was it Arizona where they were making Rust?
I think so.
Yeah.
But just the way that he treats the crew, they wouldn't feed them for more. You have to feed them every 6 hours, even if it's a union film. But even non-union films should still treat their crew as if it was union, as much as you can. And this film, they weren't feeding people for 8 hours.
Wait, okay, so the actors were union, but the crew was not union?
Shane was, I don't know if, the actors, it was a SAG project, but so it can be a SAG project and not be IATSE.
Yeah, okay.
I dislike that man. He is his first film, Cash for Gold, was the first film done in Lost 40 Studios, and I know this isn't like a whatever. I don't care. This is not very diplomatic of me, but whatever. But his project, they owe us $10,000.
Hey.
So they refused to pay.
Well, okay.
And he was like, well, it wasn't up to me, it was up to the other guy. And he just Robert scapegoats everybody, and he's never the problem.
But you said he was a producer.
Yeah.
See, I see producer as someone who produces first out of necessity.
Yeah. No, he
I don't. I see myself as
is a charlatan.
Okay, well.
Why do you think? Because you mentioned these people by their first names. It sounded like you mentioned an organization that they're
Robert
from.
Enriquez.
Well, yeah, that
I'll
guy.
say his full name.
Yeah, that guy's name, but a couple other people, Sherry and someone else,
Yeah.
The people who run UMFO.
elevate him. Yeah, what is that?
UMFO is the organization. Let's see if I can get this right, because but let's see if I've listened to it.
Because I was wondering that organization, and why are they?
The Upper Midwest
What?
Film Office
Okay.
writes off on your tax credits if you spend more than $10,000.
Oh, so they
Up
are
north.
they
And
kind
they
of
do
like?
the state
Is he a
stuff.
darling because he's spending enough money for them? What?
He's
what's
getting
that was
projects made that elevate
My
us.
question was why? I'm asking Nick Swedlund what the question is.
I wanted to say what UMFO was, so Sherry.
Great, but I'm asking
Ricky, no, I'm
Nick,
listening.
what? Why do you think they
First of all,
are so a darling around him?
I don't mean any disrespect to Sherry and Ricky. What they do is incredible. What they've done is incredible. To just adjust one thing, they don't have the money.
Yeah.
They administer the regional rebates
Yes.
up north.
Administer. What did I
Sure,
say?
right? They process them so that the IRRB in St. Louis County and the city of Duluth don't. Duluth, I'm not sure. They might do that.
IRRB being the Iron Range
Resources and Rehabilitation Board.
Yes.
Which has their own incentive as well as St. Louis County has their incentive as well. So UMFO, they facilitate and administer whatever those rebates. Respectfully to those two awesome women, not having worked on a film set in Ricky's case in a very long time, and in Sherry's case, I'm sorry, Sherry, ever, there's just certain things that you know what to look for, and you know when things are wrong, and you can see through the veil of very smooth-tongued Hollywood people. And when you don't experience that enough, you can't see when someone's lying to you.
Well, not everyone went to AFI, Nick.
Well, sure, not exactly, but then maybe we should trust the people in our lives that do have, not just me, but do have the experience when multiple people are saying, hey, he's a danger, like maybe don't elevate him by promoting, but I understand that for them it's more of a political thing where they can't be, as a nonprofit, they can't be seen to do certain things, but that just frustrates me because maybe I'm just coming across as a jealous person, but it's we deserve better. Our crew deserves better. Our cast deserves better than people like him. And we should
he's
hold
putting
people like
in
him
danger.
accountable.
I mean, I don't think there's a debate here. There's
right. So it's not just about he gets to make a movie and I don't. It's no. He made a movie and he put people's lives in danger, and and lied to them and lied to SAG, and that was just overlooked, and just oh well, it happened, and that attitude when it comes to issues like this, like gun safety on set, I have basically a zero tolerance policy for.
And anyone should, but why isn't SAG? Aren't they a body that I know they've been? They're looking at their next contract negotiation next year. They just got through the one 2 years ago. Do they not have the? Is it kind of like the thing where they don't have enough people to audit the many productions that are going on all the time?
To a degree, yeah. And you say, hey, this person is treating us badly. That might be just a disgruntled person. I get it, right?
Sure.
So,
was there an investigation into this? It seems like if a wardrobe person...
No, I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. I know that word did get to SAG pretty quick that there were problems with guns and safety. And then the SAG rep from Chicago did arrive, did come to set, did talk to them, and was there for a couple days, and things were done as they should have been done correctly. Mm-hmm. And then I know Robert had a meeting with UMFO, and we're of course we're doing things correct. We're doing things, of course. And this is where it gets they believe him over the people that quit is my problem.
I see.
Right, and the people that were fired because they stood up for the gun rights. They stood up for gun safety. So instead of believing those people, UMFO chose to believe Robert because he's making a movie in Minnesota, and we need the optics of production is happening. This is a thing, which I understand the idea of that, but you're sacrificing safety for optics.
Well, we also need more movies made here, because isn't the state of the state that, and sorry to go do this in the non-spoiler section of your movie, you made your movie in North Dakota for obvious reasons of Dan.
Yeah.
And there's not enough movies being made up here. What was your relationship to this project as co-owner of Lost 40?
Lost 40 had no connection to it at all. We did not want
just
to
aware
touch
of
him.
what's
He does
happening.
not want to touch us, kinda. I mean, yeah, it's pretty sour at this point, but I mean, clearly. But no, we were not involved at all.
Okay, you're just aware of what happened because you work with those folks.
But we knew people who, our friends, are my friends. They're my colleagues too, but my friends worked on that film, and that's why he pisses me off so much, because he put my friends' lives at risk.
100%.
So, fuck that guy.
Let's go into the spoiler.
Fuck that guy. Great end to this non-spoiler segment. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN.